welcome back. We're gonna watch the stages of whale decomposition. I feel like I've seen this before, but it was only made 2 weeks ago by Natural World Facts. So maybe I saw like what was that? I saw like an old video. Who knows?
Today's video is sponsored by
Who knows?
Always.
Oh, this person's voice is mad calming, dude. You guys hear me slurp?
Surviving in the deep sea is no easy task. With
I'm
fierce
already
competition,
so
low
fucking sleepy.
sunlight,
Oh my
and
god.
scarce food and
Need to make a cup of
nutrients,
coffee.
organisms at these depths have developed a number of peculiar lifestyles in response to such an extreme environment. Nearly all nutrients in the depths are supplied by debris that fall down from the surface waters. The food webs are sustained only by a slow drizzle of organic particles and detritus, known as marine snow.
There's gotta be like mad decomposed whales in that Marinara Trench video that we saw. There has to be like mad whales there. And I heard that large octopi like to like fight whales and they like hunt them and shit. And they eat the whales. But most of the time they don't like fully kill a whale. So I bet you they like eat some of it and then most of it like drops down and that's what feeds them.
But it's enough to sustain scattered
It's probably like a fucking whale graveyard somewhere. Big ass bones. I wonder if they eat the bones.
However, on some rare occasions, the nutrient-poor depths are treated to a feast.
A feast!
Every now and
Holy
then,
shit.
a cetacean carcass will sink to the sea floor.
What is that?
And draw scavengers from miles around to feed on the nutrient-rich carrion.
Is that a tiny whale or are those big-ass animals?
An event that creates complex, localized ecosystems.
Did they just say a whalefall? Like,
can support
like that's like normal. Whalefall. The secret. I've never heard that term before, and it's kind of crazy. Are you really scared if a whale fell on us? But their instinct is like, let's fucking eat this shit.
Sinks, the carcass provides a sudden concentrated food source in the otherwise food-poor abyss.
What are they eating? There's already like shit on it.
Ecosystems were studied in 1988 by a team of reachers at the University of Hawaii. It was estimated
He's like posing for the picture. He's like, hey, get me in this one.
Provides nutrients equivalent to 2,000 years worth of material that falls as marine snow for an area of 50 square meters. In a region of the ocean where food is often just...
But that 2,000 years gets chunked down. You know, per second, per month, per day, by every animal that like eats it. Maybe it's like 2,000 for one tiny ass fish.
The body can last for decades. In that time, it creates an island of life on the sea floor, supporting an ever-changing ecosystem that blooms out of the benthos.
They're trying to get inside the bone, dude.
It provides a miniaturized model of ecological succession.
Those crabs? How deep is this shit though?
In much the same way as life on oceanic islands sees a change in its communities over time, the stages of whale decomposition support a number of different scavenger communities. And just like islands, whalefalls are hotspots of adaptive radiation, the process in which organisms rapidly diversify from an ancestral species into a multitude of new forms.
That's gotta be hard to fucking eat though, right?
Because the new resources provided by whalefalls alter the way in which deep-sea creatures interact with one another.
The hell? What was that?
And open up new niches for organisms to occupy. As a result, many new species that appear to be specialized to living exclusively.
Do you know what'd be cool? If someone made like an anime of like sea life living inside like a whale village like this, or if this was like part of a video game that had like an underwater section where the fish folks live in like a giant whale carcass village where they like carved out their whole life to a giant whale. That'd be fucking fire.
Discovered during recent studies. These findings suggest that whale falls may help to generate biodiversity on the sea floor. Let's take a closer look at the complex, fascinating communities that gather at
This
Whale
doesn't
Falls.
look that big. Like I can't get a grasp of how big this whale bone is. I wish they would show like the full whale.
At the surface. Soon after death, the
My bad.
insides of the whale begin to decompose.
Alright, the
As
sharks get it first.
Gases cause the body to expand and float up to the ocean surface.
That is fucking
where
gnarly,
it's
man.
by sharks and seabirds.
Like face first,
But once
get
these
the
gases
brain.
escape, the whale's body begins to sink into the sunless void of the deep sea.
Oh my god, bro. That's fucking brutal.
Once it settles on the ocean floor at depths of 1 kilometer or more, it can be classified as a whale fall. And now begin the 4 key stages of ecological succession, which each support their own distinct communities.
This is terrifying, dude. Oh my god. This is my nightmare scenario.
First is the mobile scavenger stage. After the carcass comes to rest on the ocean floor, life arrives at the sea.
Well, they killed the whale though, you know?
Mobile scavengers such as hagfish and sharks are lured by the scent of death and swim from afar to consume the flesh and blubber.
Yo, this
Hagfish
music
use their
is
dental
fire.
blades to burrow deep into the carcass.
Oh my
and
god.
bite off chunks of food. While they eat, they twist their bodies into a knot, then pass the knot along their body and force it against the carcass to increase the power of their bite.
It's like a mid-song interlude right now.
This allows them to tear flesh from even the toughest of meals. The mobile scavenger stage of whale fall ecosystems is characterized by larger
Why did they make this beat so good for no reason?
Like this sleeper shark, which
yeah,
can
that
grow to
shark
nearly
do look
7
kind of
meters
sleepy.
in length.
Ah! Ah!
In a matter of months, the carcass is stripped clean down to the bone. However, in an ecosystem so nutrient deficient as the deep sea, when something so large falls to the depths, nothing goes to waste.
Ooh. Just nothing goes to waste keeps repeating. Okay.
Now begins the second
Switching
phase,
it up.
known as the enrichment opportunist stage. Many of the larger scavengers have moved on, and it's now the turn of smaller organisms to comb the surrounding
Where'd they
sediment
move on
and
to?
decomposing tissue. Organic fragments or detritus
That was weird.
may
My bad, I had to
enrich
move
the
something.
sediments nearby for over a year.
What is that? Oh, that's from like whatever
the
vehicle
carcass
they're
you're
at.
seeing now was filmed in
the dirt.
2019 by the EV Nautilus team.
The Nautilus.
The Davidson Seamount, 3,240 meters beneath the surface of the ocean.
Is that deep, bro? I don't know how deep that is.
Here, invertebrates have begun to colonize the bones. Worms, crustaceans,
Not as deep
and
as your
mollusks like these
mom.
moose octopuses feed on leftover blubber or burrow down into the
Blah, 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 blah,
nutrient-enriched
blah, blah, blah.
sediment.
That's the
beneath
mouth,
whale.
right?
Eel pouts pick the bones of any flesh left behind by the mobile scavengers.
What
Over
the-
time, as the organic material
those
is slowly
octobabies do?
depleted, the scavenger populations begin to decline.
Oh, it's all bones. Well, someone would make a spear out of that, dude. Monster Hunter shit.
1 year later, in 2020, the EV Nautilus team returned to the Davidson Seamount whale fall.
My god,
What
even
they
the
found
bones are
was
gone.
a dramatically different scene, for it had entered the third stage, called the sulfophilic stage. This is by
Sulfophilic.
far the longest stage of a whale fall, for it may last for 50 years or more.
That's like nothing.
Many of the bones appear to have disintegrated. And there's a much lower density of scavengers.
So much of a person's life, though. 50 years? Jesus.
But although the carcass may appear devoid of life, the remaining skeleton supports...
Like, if you think about it, I'm about to be 30. That's... Technically, if I, like, became an adult at 18, I've been an adult for 12 years. Or going to be 12 years. I have 20 more years of being an adult. Before these 50 years. Before I physically reach 50 years old. But that's still not me being an adult for 50 years. That's fucking insane. I'd have to be 68 years old. 68 years old. Bro. Craziness, dude.
A remarkable community of chemosynthetic
that's your whole
bacteria
life.
That begin to break down lipids trapped in the bones.
And this is like generations. It's feeding generations.
This forms sulfides as a byproduct, which are released up to 8 feet into the surrounding sediment, and support a rich mix of dense bacterial mats, mussels, clams, and worms, feeding not on flesh, but on the microbes.
Look at the shit that grew on it, though.
Polychaete worms like the bone-eating Osedax worms.
Oh, those are fucking worms?
In a fuzzy red fringe.
Oh my god.
These have neither eyes nor mouth, but they present reddish plumes that act as gills and green roots that burrow down into the skeleton. From the marrow, the worm's roots extract fats and oils, which microbes living inside the roots break down.
That's so fucking gnarly, dude. Like, their flesh has already gotten eaten, and these things pop out of nowhere to eat the bones, bro. Like, they sense the bones. Like how those other fishes sense the flesh. What eats the spirit of the whale?
A fourth stage of whalefall ecological succession has also been postulated. Known as the reef stage, it involves the solid mineral remains of the whale bones, providing a hard substrate for suspension and filter feeders to inhabit.
Becomes their home. I'm telling you.
Out on the abyssal plain, the soft sediments prevent many sessile organisms from finding a solid surface to attach to. As a result, hundreds of years after death, a whale's corpse may still be able to provide islands of abundance at the bottom of the ocean.
That's... What? You get hundreds of years of usage off of one whale. Insane value for the planet.
The successive communities that thrive around these whale carcasses show just how important whalefall events are to the deep sea ecosystem.
Doesn't this just show like how useless humans are? Like, we fucking die and then we go and pollute the earth even more. We'll literally go dig up the earth, make a box coffin, chopping down a tree, some nice mahogany, and put a bunch of chemicals inside the corpse so it doesn't rot as fast. Instead of like re-nourishing the world with our, decomposing body, we decide to poison it even more just so we can look good post-death. Look what this fucking whale is doing for the world. For all these animals, dude.
The immense biomass of whales,
holy shit, we're
especially
useless.
High bone lipid content, allows their carcasses to support diverse and complex ecosystems that would otherwise not exist in the energy-poor deep sea.
Just start dumping corpses in the ocean, bro.
But they're not only important for the survival of existing species.
Wouldn't that make a lot of sense if you just start dumping?
May play an important
Wouldn't that give them a bunch of nutrients?
New species to develop.
Then they get a taste for human.
For example,
might not be good.
An abundance of new bristleworm species have been discovered.
They eat too much human brain. They get too smart.
Which may be uniquely adapted to survive.
Smart worms. Probably how not that doesn't work like that.
For species such as these, whale falls may provide evolutionary stepping stones.
Let the whales fall!
To adapt
Let
to
them
new
crumble!
extreme habitats like hydrothermal vents and brine pools.
That's crazy.
This portion of
this might have been one of the most whoa gah gah. This might have been one of the most interesting ones I've watched. That was pretty nice. That was cool. I'll see you guys later.